I'm selfish, impatient, and a little insecure. I make mistakes, I am out of control and at times hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can learn to let go. Things go wrong so that you appreciate them when they're right. You believe lies so you eventually learn to trust no one but yourself. And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together. Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. This life is what you make it. No matter what, you're going to mess up sometimes. It's a universal truth. But the good part is you get to decide how you're going to mess it up. Girls will be your friends, they'll act like it anyway. But just remember, some come, some go. The ones that stay with you through everything, they're your true best friends. Don't let go of them. Also remember, sisters make the best friends in the world. As for lovers, well, they'll come and go too. And baby, I hate to say it, most of them, actually pretty much all of them, are going to break your heart. But you can't give up, because if you give up, you'll never find your soulmate. You'll never find that half who makes you whole, and that goes for everything. Just because you fail once, doesn't mean you're gonna fail at everything. Keep trying, hold on, and always, always, always believe in yourself, because if you don't, then who will, sweetie? So keep your head high, keep your chin up, and most importantly, keep smiling, because life's a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. If you can make a woman laugh, you can make her do anything. The real lover is the man who can thrill you by kissing your forehead or smiling into your eyes or just staring into space. A wise girl kisses but doesn't love, listens but doesn't believe, and leaves before she is left. I am good, but not an angel. I do sin, but I am not the devil. I am just a small girl in a big world trying to find someone to love. Have you ever noticed how what the hell is always the right decision to make? If you're gonna be two-faced, at least make one of them pretty. It's far better to be unhappy alone than unhappy with someone, so far. When it comes down to it, I let them think what they want. If they care enough to bother with what I do, then I'm already better than them. I've never fooled anyone. I've let people fool themselves. They didn't bother to find out who and what I was. Instead, they would invent a character for me. I wouldn't argue with them. They were obviously loving somebody I wasn't. We should all start to live before we get too old. Fear is stupid. So are regrets. Give a girl the right shoes, and she can conquer the world. She was a girl who knew how to be happy even when she was sad. And that's important, you know. All little girls should be told they are pretty, even if they aren't. It's not true that I had nothing on. I had the radio on. Beneath the makeup and behind the smile, I am just a girl who wishes for the world. I don't mind living in a man's world, as long as I can be a woman in it. The nicest thing for me is sleep, then at least I can dream. Who said nights were for sleep? You believe lies so you eventually learn to trust no one but yourself. All we demanded was our right to twinkle. It's often just enough to be with someone. I don't need to touch them. Not even talk. A feeling passes between you both. You're not alone. Dogs never bite me. Just humans. If I'd observed all the rules, I'd never have got anywhere. Success makes so many people hate you. I wish it wasn't that way. It would be wonderful to enjoy success without seeing envy in the eyes of those around you. Keep smiling, because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. I want to grow old without facelifts. I want to have the courage to be loyal to the face I have made. Sometimes things fall apart so that better things can fall together. I don't know who invented high heels, but all women owe him a lot. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. All a girl really wants is for one guy to prove to her that they are not all the same. I don't mind making jokes, but I don't want to look like one. Sex is part of nature. I go along with nature. You never know what life is like until you have lived it. We are all born sexual creatures, thank God, but it's a pity so many people despise and crush this natural gift. I restore myself when I'm alone. I just want to be wonderful. It's all make-believe, isn't it? Boys think girls are like books. If the cover doesn't catch their eye, they won't bother to read what's inside. When you have a good friend that really cares for you and tries to stick in there with you, you treat them like nothing. Learn to be a good friend, because one day you're gonna look up and say, I lost a good friend. Learn how to be respectful to your friends. Don't just start arguments with them, and don't tell them the reason. Always remember your friends will be there quicker than your family. Learn to remember you got great friends. Don't forget that, and they will always care for you no matter what. Always remember to smile and look up at what you got in life. I don't mind being burdened with being glamorous and sexual. Beauty and femininity are ageless and can't be contrived, and glamour, although the manufacturers won't like this, cannot be manufactured. Not real glamour, it's based on femininity. The body is meant to be seen, not all covered up. Friendship is the bestiest thing that comes to life. Friends will always be there for you. Don't worry about the fakes, worry about the people who had your back from the start and never treated you wrong. Always remember they are your real friends. Don't never take them as granted, because one day you're going to lose a good friend by the way your actions are. When you see a good friend, stick to that person. I have feelings too. I am still human. All I want is to be loved, for myself and for my talent. I'm not interested in money, I just want to be wonderful. Hollywood is a place where they'll pay you $1,000 for a kiss and 50 cents for your soul. I know, because I turned down the first offer often enough and held out for the 50 cents. What do I wear in bed? Why, Chanel No. 5, of course. I'm very definitely the woman, and I enjoy it. I used to think as I looked out on the Hollywood night, there must be thousands of girls sitting alone like me, dreaming of becoming a movie star. But I'm not going to worry about them. I'm dreaming the hardest. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. If I play a stupid girl and ask a stupid question, I've got to follow it through. What am I supposed to do? Look intelligent. Before marriage, a girl has to make love to a man to hold him. After marriage, she has to hold him to make love to him. Just because you fail once doesn't mean you're gonna fail at everything. I've been on a calendar, but never on time. I live to suit, not to please you or anyone else. To all the girls that think you're fat because you're not a size 0, you're the beautiful one. It's society who's ugly. This life is what you make it. Not matter what, you're going to mess up sometimes. It's a universal truth. But the good part is you get to decide how you're going to mess it up. Girls will be your friends, they'll act like it anyway. But just remember, some come, some go. The ones that stay with you through everything, they're your true best friends. Don't let go of them. I love to do the things the censors won't pass. I have too many fantasies to be a housewife. I guess I am a fantasy. I learned to walk as a baby, and I haven't had a lesson since. How wrong it is for a woman to expect a man to build the world she wants, rather than to create it herself. Your clothes should be tight enough to show you're a woman, but loose enough to show you're a lady. A career is wonderful, but you can't curl up with it on a cold night. A sex symbol becomes a thing. I hate being a thing. Just because you fall once, doesn't mean you'll fall at everything. Keep trying, hold on, and always trust yourself, because if you don't, then who will? Dreaming about being an actress is more exciting than being one. I knew I belonged to the public and to the world, not because I was talented or even beautiful, but because I had never belonged to anything or anyone else. Looking back, I guess I used to play act all the time. For one thing, it meant I could live in a more interesting world than the one around me. I am invariably late for appointments, sometimes as much as 2 hours. I've tried to change my ways, but the things that make me late are too strong and too pleasing. Some people have been unkind. If I say I want to grow as an actress, they look at my figure. If I say I want to develop, to learn my craft, they laugh. Somehow they don't expect me to be serious about my work. When you are young and healthy, you can plan on Monday to commit suicide, and by Wednesday you're laughing again. It's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. I read poetry to save time. I could never pretend something I didn't feel. I could never make love if I didn't love, and if I loved, I could no more hide the fact than change the color of my eyes.